Oh shit. Oh hi. I didn't see you come in. Please, take a seat. As many people know, I collect things. I collect a lot of figures, mainly the NECA figures. I also collect quite a few Funko Pops. But the one thing I do love collecting is masks. As you can see behind me, I've got a wall of masks. And today, we're going to be looking through those masks. But not all of them, because I've got a lot of different masks. We're only going to be looking through the Halloween masks today. So all the Michael Myers masks, and everything to do with the Halloween franchise. So I'm going in order of what I've got. A quick overhaul, because it'll take too long if I go in detail. And yeah. So, starting with Halloween 1, I've got the 1978 mask. This is by Trick or Treat Studios. All the Halloween masks I have are by Trick or Treat Studios, and I got them from Mad About Horror, because I'm not in the US, I'm in the UK, so big thanks to them. This mask I got for Christmas last year. Gotta say, it's my second Michael Myers mask, and I adore it. It's one of my favourites. I love the hair, it's just so fluffy. But overall, it looks very accurate. Especially because it didn't need rehauling or anything either. I don't think I want to rehaul this one. Well, not now anyway, because it just looks okay for what it's worth. Like, it doesn't look like a knockoff, it looks genuine, it looks okay. So overall, I love this mask. Next in line, probably should have shown this one first, because this one came before that one. But this is the 1963 mask that young Mikey Myers wore when he butchered his sister. I love this. It's hard plastic, just nothing to it. It can't be latex like that one. But overall, this is wonderful. It's just a simple design, but at the same time, it looks so accurate, and I overall just love it. The colours and everything, I love it. The Halloween 2, more of the night he came home. We've got this mask here, which is similar to the first one, but it's very different. I don't know if this is the Elrod mask or the Boogeyman mask, because there's different variants of Halloween 2. This one overall is very different, and it doesn't feel like the same texture at all, even though it's latex, like the first one. But I still actually like this one a lot, because it just feels, it fits my head, it feels nice, and the hair doesn't go everywhere like some of the masks do. It's very stapled down to the point where, you know, even if there's wind, if you're going at a cosplay and there's a lot of wind, the hair's not going to blow everywhere. It's very, very well put together. So I really do love it. Now this next mask I had to get because I love the reference and the Easter egg of Ben Tramer. Ben Tramer's the one character who's like almost referenced quite a few times, I think. Obviously, he's not supposed to be like this jokey character, even though his death in Halloween 2 would say otherwise. But I do love the mask he wore in the second one, and Loomis mistakens him for Michael, especially with that bleached hair. And you can tell, if I pull the Michael one up, you can tell how different they are. One's slightly more like dim, and the other one's more pale. And I think overall this is just wonderful. I love the Ben Tramer mask. It's one of my favorites just because of how, like, I wouldn't say goofy, but at the same time I wouldn't say serious at all. It's very wonderful though, I just love it, and the hair is so soft. In terms of Halloween 3, there are the 3 masks from Season of the Witch, which is actually an underrated film. I love Season of the Witch, it's one of my favourite Halloween films. I've only got one out of the 3. I want to get the skeleton one and the witch one, but I have got the pumpkin one. And I do love this mask a lot. It feels so like the nostalgia, because I saw Halloween 3 when I was a kid. And I just remember that scene at the end with the kids in the room and the mask starts like impulsing on his face and all the things come out. And I remember putting this on, I was like, oh fuck me. I love this mask so much, it's amazing. And on the back it even has the Silver Shamrock logo on it, and I just love that. If you take a look there, look how detailed that is, it's wonderful. Oh, I love it so much. Halloween 4, I actually really do like Halloween 4. It's one of my favorites. I think I like all the Halloween films. There's not one that I don't like. Maybe the second Rob Zombie film is a bit too much. I don't like that one that much. But, I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. The first Rob Zombie film's pretty good. We're not talking about Rob Zombie, we're talking about Halloween 4. And I've got the Halloween 4 mask. And this is actually one of my favorites because of how accurate it looks to. I think it looks so accurate. Like, It's just amazing. The textures on the skin, it's amazing. And I think the reason it looks so different from the second and first one is because obviously I think it was something to do with the agency was catching on about the Captain Kirk mask, because obviously the first Halloween mask was based off a Captain Kirk mask. Made some like cheap modifications. I think it was only like $5 or something. It wasn't much, and I was like, wow, that's really cheap considering the fact these masks cost like £60 in the UK now. But it just goes to show how far they've come. Now, the design may look different, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I love the fact that the eyes actually have this like thing over them. So obviously the other masks are just hollow eyes, so you can stick your fingers in them. But I like this one because you can't actually see your eyes when you're wearing it, but you can see out perfectly. So it's actually a wonderful mask. Alongside it, I've also got this Halloween 4 like 1963 mask. Obviously it looks different from the one I showed you earlier. That's because they had to change it again, I think, or maybe they just couldn't find the original mask, I'm not sure. But this is the one that Jamie Lloyd wears, that Michael supposedly wore, even though it's very different. It's a lovely little plastic mask. It didn't cost much, but like I said, it's just wonderful. I love it. A bit flimsy, but it does the job. So a stranger one, but one I still adore, is the Halloween 5 mask. Now, I do love this one because it's got longer hair, and I always joke that it looks like my friend Reese. So, Reese, if you're watching this. I do love the mask though. It's just different, and I like the long neck. A lot of people say Halloween 5 is the weirdest one, referring it to as an alien. I don't really see the alien thing. Maybe it's because of the eyes and the texture, but I really do love this mask. It's so different, and I love the approach they went for it. But I just overall love Halloween 5 mask, even if the film was a bit goofy. But yeah. This mask is possibly one that's so reminiscent of the first one when you watch the movie, because it goes from the first and second mask, and then Halloween 4 and 5 look a bit different, but then when it goes back to Halloween 6 it looks reminiscent of the first one again, and that's this mask here. Obviously it just looks way more grittier, and you can even tell there's like markings on the mask and stuff like that. And it overall feels more, it feels like something out of a comic book almost, and that's why I love it so much. The hair's super soft, it's got a really large neck piece, which can be a pain when wearing it with the coveralls, but I still love it. It fits okay on me, and overall, there's not much to it, other than the fact that all the details make it look so much more like oversimplified, so it just looks way grittier, and I love it. On to the next two masks, which are from Halloween H20 and Halloween Resurrection. This is my Halloween H20 mask. I think there's two variants of it, but I've only got one. And overall, it's a bit like the Halloween 6 one with like the same colour pattern and a few of the details like here, stuff like that. If I go up close, you'll see what I mean. But it really does bring back the original feeling. Just feels a bit more dramatic, if you get what I mean. The hair is quite nice. It's a bit too poofy up. Looks like you put a bunch of hairspray on it. So, yeah. I gotta say, though, I do like it. I mean, it's better than the CGI mask in Halloween H20, if you get what I mean. So I'm glad they didn't use that all the time, because that would have looked awful and cost a lot of money. But this one, not bad at all. Moving on to Halloween Resurrection. This is my Halloween Resurrection mask. I always say it looks a bit like Mr. Bean, but people often say no, it doesn't. What do you think? Does it look like Mr. Bean? Let me know in the comments. So, I do like this mask. It feels a lot different. Feels like there's a more, you know, feels like it's wearing makeup, but it's not. I know the mask in the film looks a bit different to the one here. Obviously, this is a replica, it's not the actual thing. But for what it's worth, it's not bad. The hair, similar to H20, but the face feels very different, and the neck is a bit more circular outlined. But overall, it's not a bad mask. Wouldn't say it's my favourite, but it's not my least favourite. I do have my very first Michael mask that I got, and I got this for my birthday in 2020 when I turned 15. Was it 15 or 16? Can't remember. But this is it here, my Halloween 2018 mask. It's been here the longest, so about 2 years, and despite the hair looking slightly rough on some of the edges, it still holds up. It's my favourite one, nearly my favourite one. because obviously I've got so many of them, I can't choose a favourite, but this is definitely a highlight. My very first mask and still one of my favourites. It's tight when I put it on, but once I get it on, it's perfect. Still, I think I got a good pick when I got this online, because when it came I was like, okay, this isn't like the other mask, it looks fairly decent, and it is one of my favourites. As you can see, I love the markings on the neck, and it's so reminiscent of the original. I love it. I also love the film. Gotta say, it pays so much homage to the original, and I do adore it. I have the Halloween Kills mask, but I sent it off to get rehauled. Basically, long story short, I won a giveaway thing, which was basically you send your mask to someone, and usually you have to pay a lot of money, so you have to pay for the shipping and you have to pay the person the money to obviously get the supplies to do all the rehauling on the mask. But I won a giveaway where I only had to pay the shipping, so I thought that's a banging deal. So I did it. I was so happy when I found out I won, and I'm so thankful. The person who's rehauling it is at Boogeyman Studios. I'll leave the link to his Facebook in the description. He does some amazing stuff, honestly. I'm so thankful, and when it comes I'll be doing a review of that, and I'll just a big thank you to him, because he's done such a good favour for me, and like I've always wanted to have a rehauled mask, and the Kills one's such a detailed one with like half the burnt face, so like I can't wait till it comes, because I'm going to do a review on that obviously. Overall, I just want to thank him, so big thank you to you, Boogeyman Studios. I'll leave your link to your Facebook, and if you want me to leave a link to anything else, if you do watch this, just let me know on Facebook Messenger. If you like this video and you want to see me review some of my other masks, maybe my Ghostface collection, I do have 2 more of those masks coming. I've got the Molten mask, which is from Dead by Daylight, and I've got the Viper mask, which is also from Dead by Daylight. So when those come, if you want me to do a review on my Ghostface masks, let me know in the comments below. Big thank you to Boogeyman Studios though, like I said, and big thank you to Mad About Horror, because if I didn't have Mad About Horror, I wouldn't have half of these masks. I wouldn't even have any of them. I'd only have the 2018 one probably, because obviously they do things in the UK, and it's easier for me to get the things from the UK as opposed to the US. So big thank you to them as well. I'll leave the link to their store in the description. You know, check them out. They do some amazing stuff. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.